Freelancer. I'm finishing up a few stories for the Wall.
This a bad time?
No, good time. The task is better with company. This is not the Grand Wall of Freemark, but it's a good start.
Why do you do this? The Wall, the stories, all of it. For the history books?
I'm not that vain. Well, not about these things. You never saw the Grand Wall, eh? Oh, people came from every corner of Bastion to see it. They read our stories. They believed in us.
I never saw that. That was a different world.
You sound like my friend, the one I lost. Yes? He could be a stormy sky.
We need rain.
Ha! That is the truth. He would never let me forget it.
You mentioned he was a freelancer?
That's right. Garnet. Freelancer Garnet. His call sign suited. Tough, that one. Strong. But one day, he didn't come home.
What happened?
I don't know. Not all of it. Not where he fell. You see, I have his name, but not his story. This pains me.
He was beyond the Wall making things better. The details don't matter.
Of course. I know this. Just... it pains me.
Someone was counting on him to be there. And he was.
That is why I send you out there to pay your respects. To gather stories for our Wall. Maybe one day, you bring his story back. Waiting on a few reports just now.
Looks like this is your lucky day.
Why's that?
You just bumped into the oldest man in Fort Tarsis. Name's Jarek.
Nice to meet you.
You too. You know, you don't live as long as I have without seeing some things.
Yeah? Like what?
I was there when the Scars swarmed the fort's terraces. It was a bloodbath. Happened over 50 years ago, and it feels like yesterday. I was also there when the Scars came over the walls. What do you think about that?
I think you've seen a lot.
You bet I have. More than you ever will, that's for sure.
You don't even know me. Why would you assume that?
Because my life has been filled with nothing but bloodshed and disaster. I've survived Strider ambushes, Dominion attacks and outlaws. I've even run from wyverns. I've seen enough death the last 50 lifetimes. And yet, somehow, I'm still kicking.
So what's your secret to survival?
It ain't no secret. I'm a pragmatist. I always did what I had to in order to survive.
Sounds like you made some tough choices.
You tell me. I was in a mining crew digging for ore near Heliost when the main shaft collapsed. We were trapped behind a solid wall of rock. We had no idea of how long it would take for the rescue party to dig us out. I was lucky enough to find a bottle of water. But there were 6 of us.
1 bottle of water for 6 miners? How many of you made it out?
I was the only survivor.
You're tough as nails. That's why you're still alive.
I guess so.
You guess? How else does one man live while 5 perish?
I just did what I had to do.
Yeah, and you were lucky.
I sure was.
I guess you need at least a little good fortune to become the oldest man in Fort Tarsis.
In some ways, I am lucky. You cheered me up, freelancer. Thank you.
You're welcome, old-timer.
Maybe next time we meet, I'll tell you how I survived the massacre on the terraces.
Well, I know you. You're the hotshot who silenced that Shaper thing, yeah?
Word travels fast.
I keep an ear to the ground. Best way to stay alive out here. Maxine. Call me Max. Welcome to my bar.
You're the owner?
Am now. Got it off Dusty in a game of cards. Pretty sure he threw that hand.
You really think he'd bet his entire bar and throw the hand?
In a heartbeat. If he ever had a heart to begin with. Dusty managed to lose the deed to his bar and his shirt, and the very next morning headed out of town. Only he didn't make it.
Oh, hold up a second. What happened to the last owner?
He was on a strider to Antium with the governor and it went down. Some say accident, some say a hit. Nobody made it back and the black box went missing.
You think Dusty was the target? Or the governor?
Dusty owed a lot to the wrong people, but dead men don't pay their debts. The governor? Not really worth the trouble, you know what I mean? Dusty's not the only owner to die in glitch circumstances, just the latest. People think this place is cursed.
You don't strike me as waiting around for certain doom.
Who has time for that crap? I got work to do. Deals don't make themselves. You're doing good work around here, freelancer. I'll get you a tab. First one's on the house. And if there's something you need, maybe I know some people. We'll see. Okay?
Hey, you're a freelancer, right? I've heard things about you.
What kind of things?
Some of the Arcanists said you stopped a cataclysm. Or a giant Ursix. Or both.
That was me, yeah. It was, kind of both.
Interesting. You're one to watch. I don't want to say too much just yet, but be mindful. A lot of eyes will be on you soon.
What does that mean?
It means this is the time to show what you're made of.
You've got a contract for me. I'm happy to hear it.
Not a contract, exactly. Have you ever heard of the Path to Glory?
It's like a ranking of Lancers, right?
That's not all it is. There are certain rewards offered to those on the path.
Rewards offered by who exactly?
The Emperor. Put yourself on the path, freelancer. What you do will matter, I promise.
The right tool for the right job. How hard is that to understand?
Thank you
For what?
for stepping close so you don't impede foot traffic.
You were off to the side, so it seemed to make sense.
My apologies. I assumed you would recognize me from one of my public safety forums.
Sorry, I was not aware those were happening.
My name is Perndle Blatch, and I'm the fort custodian. I maintain and improve all public works and spaces.
Sounds like a big job.
It's enormous. I'm seeking public input on an initiative to improve life in Fort Tarsis. Would you care to take part?
No thanks, I'm kind of busy.
If I told you we could tangibly improve fort safety, would you reconsider?
I doubt it.
Forget about safety then. How about quality of living? How do you feel about Fort Tarsis having a beautiful fountain that's just sitting dry?
Why is that important?
A fort is more than just stone and wood. Civic projects like fountains help make it a home.
Okay.
And people also need rules. Our fort needs more guidelines in order to function safely and efficiently.
Really? More rules?
Absolutely. Guidelines and protocols are the bones of social order. I hope you have a more open mind the next time we meet.
My savior, and the reason scars aren't feasting on my liver right this minute. Bloody scars. The spike in their activity has really thrown off my research.
What are you working on exactly?
I'm looking for a lost Arcanist text known as the Elysian Manuscript. It was inscribed by early members of our order and has been lost for generations. Some Arcanists believe that their writings could help us predict the behavior of Shaper instruments. Imagine knowing Ferelic will create firestorms, or scorpions, or shatter you into 1,000 pieces.
We could keep people safe.
Indeed. Every little piece of knowledge we can scrape together helps.
You're making progress?
The heroic work done by my assistants, may they continue to seek answers beyond this life, led to a discovery. Turns out there was a far more ingenious way to pass knowledge along. Invisible runes.
Invisible?
Runes, yes.
How do I...
Aha! I piqued your curiosity. You'll just have to continue on this adventure to find out, won't you? Our research has revealed a potential site that may answer our questions.
Just point me in the right direction.
Freelancer. What can Matthias Errol Sumner help you with today?
I just wanted to see how you were doing.
My research is progressing. I'm still alive and very happy about it. I intended to buy you a drink as thanks for the rescue, but then I remembered being banned from the bar.
You're banned. Why?
For, starting fights. Not proud of it, it just happened. 1 minute someone's mocking Von Blatt's theory of diurnal obsolescence, the next minute you got bloody knuckles. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Emotions take over.
Exactly. Sometimes old impulses take over.
Old impulses?
Growing up in the streets of Helios, you pick up some bad habits. Discourse, dialogue, civility, the Arcanist ways, those I had to learn. Lashing out is instinct.
I didn't know you grew up on the streets.
I don't advertise it.
You should be proud. You're a survivor. This world needs more Arcanists like you.
Like me? You want more kids orphaned young who have to fend for themselves?
I didn't mean...
I get it. Fewer soft, bookish types, more bloody knuckles and cynicism. You know, I prefer a world where no one gets calluses on their soul.
But that's not the world we live in.
Complete acceptance of the world's failings inhibits the will to change it. And we can change it. Through knowledge, we can make the world better. That's what the Arcanist Order does. That's what I do. Speaking of which, I have some experiments to oversee. Don't want something to blow up and make orphans.
I'm telling you straight up. Hey, Freelancer!
Hey.
I can't believe I'm talking to you. You're like the most badass freelancer in Fort Tarsus. My name's Neeson.
Hello?
Hey, aren't you teamed up with that Cypher, Owen?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, no reason. I just thought you might be concerned about that Cypher school thing of his.
What are you talking about?
Okay, all right, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but I heard he got over-altered during his training.
Over-altered?
Yeah, I guess it glitched him up pretty bad.
What are you talking about?
I can't say for sure, but that's what people are saying, and you gotta admit, Owen is a little goofy.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Just telling you what I heard.
Thanks, but that kind of information isn't useful.
Yeah, I get it. You already knew. But if you ever need any info on anyone else in the fort, I'm pretty plugged in.
Yeah, no thanks.
No need to close that door. Let's just agree to maybe meeting in the future.
Or let's not.
Yeah, I got you. Catch you later.